Hey, get out of the shot.
Dishes are done, man.
Cleans them down to the shot.
Thank you for doing this, man. This is cool. Keith Coogan.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. How's your
Thank you
day,
for
man?
having me. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. How's everything going for you?
Oh, good. Busy. My goodness. We're setting up some personal appearance autograph conventions right now. I literally just jumped off the phone with our promoter. Bye, babe. Love you. My wife's stepping out for a second.
Oh, nice.
And I just got back from work over as a Sony studio tour guide.
Whoa, that's cool.
Here's the Esther Williams stage. And then I sneak attack them because they occasionally, 1 out of 100, maybe walk up to the booth and go, "What? This should be done, man." And or they're like, "Keith, are you Keith Coogan?" Yeah. And other people, they have no idea. They never saw any of it. So it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also at the studio where my grandfather and great-grandfather worked 100 years ago when it was MGM. We have a street named after him across the street, Coogan Circle. It's the shortest and furthest from the main lot, just like the studio treated his career. Anyway, it is a weird, it's like standing on the proscenium. Here's the audience, here's the show, and it's like, I don't know. It's fun. I love my job.
How'd you end up with that job, man?
A fry cook at McDonald's, but I love my job.
How'd you get that job, man? I mean, how did you?
How'd you writer, director friend, Ryan Paul James, and I'd done a couple of things with him. And I'm talking to him, and he goes, "Oh, I'll call you back after I get off work." And I go, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he explains he's a tour guide at Sony, and I'm like, "You mean MGM?" I still call it MGM in LA.
Yeah,
we're getting used to even calling it Columbia, and then Sony comes along, and I went, I met, and I really shouldn't have been hired. My God, because I go right off the highway. I mean, I'm a loose cannon on the deck because I have family thing, my personal experiences. I'm like, oh, there's where I shot Little House. There's where I shot Chips.
That sounds like a bonus. Have you as a tour guide?
I don't know. I have fun doing it, and I hope the guests do. Sometimes, and I'll wait until halfway through the tour, and then we get in front of the old MGM schoolhouse, where Roddy McDowell, Elizabeth Taylor, Dina Durbin, a little child star, Mickey Rooney, Judy Garland, they all went to school because of my grandfather's Coogan Act, the labor law, and all that.
Yes, yeah.
So it was just very, it's just surreal. It's surreal to be working class in terms of if there was a foundational structure of Sony Corp, I mean, like a pyramidal structure, I'd be down here. I'd be on the foundational, maybe sub garage. But I'm also have this experience and this understanding of what used to go on there and personal family connections to buildings, the names that are on the buildings. I'm like, oh, our family knew them. Like it's just really weird.
Right.
And I love it. I feel it's unique. I don't know if you're going to get a tour guide that, has done all those good movies and half of the bad ones.
How many tours do you do in one day?
I did 2 today.
How long do they last for, these tours?
They're typically a 2-hour walking tour. I also do the premium 2-hour cart tour.
That's great, man. You're losing weight, like exercising, tours.
That's where I get fat and happy is I do the VIP lunch tour, which is it's 3 hours on the cart. But in the middle, you go to the Wolfgang Puck fine dining. And if I do 3 of those a week, I can physically see the tire around my waist. And I'm like, I get lots of sun, and you can see, look at my farmer's tan.
Oh, yeah. You can't do it with your shirt off?
No, we have
to take your shirt off.
Get in uniform. There's Coogan running around naked
again. Tonight I wore this Metallica shirt just because I always remember you as
Metallica Breath.
Yeah, dude. I always remember "Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead." I think I have that same shirt, but it's probably dirty right now.
Awesome. I've just got a random Groku shirt.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool, man. Did you watch the documentary Bratz on Hulu?
We were obsessed with it. I think Pinky, my wife, read his book.
Oh yeah, I'm reading it right now. That's good.
Oh, is it good?
I'm listening to it. It's on Audible. Yeah, he's got a Audible copy of that. Yep. Sorry, but you're reading it though. That's good.
And so couldn't wait. We were counting down the day until it came on. And it was so funny. John Cryer comes on. He's like, I am not in the
Too
Brad
cool.
pack. And I
How
love
did you
the
feel about that?
reaction after Brad's came out. The reaction has been mixed. Sometimes people feel like, you guys worked a lot after. What are you whining about? Anthony McCarthy comes off as particularly sensitive about the whole thing.
Yeah. Did
And
you know all those guys back in the day?
No, they were 3 or 4 years older. Chad Lowe was 2 grades above me. So however much older Rob is than Chad, although I did meet Rob through Melissa Gilbert. We're out in front of the Malibu Cinema and the little like Swenson's 31 Flavors or whatever. And we see Melissa. Hey, how you doing? Everything. And standing behind her, like 2 feet to the side, is Rob Lowe. And he's new in town.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, this is my boyfriend, Rob. And she has 2 egg creams and she hands one to him. He goes, what's this? She goes, it's an egg cream. And he goes, I don't like these. She goes, just drink it. That was my introduction to Rob Lowe. And no, I went to the same schools as like Sean Penn and Emilio and Charlie and Judd Nelson. And so that's where I'm very close. I lived like 5 or 6 miles from their whole neighborhood.
Yeah, man. That's
I lived next door to the guy that Sean Penn took a lot of his mannerisms from. There was a Spicoli that lived next door to me, right. And he wore his shirt on his head, like you know how you wear that as like the sun is the hat, and he talked like him, moved like him. Oh man,
that's so
waves
cool.
Day, tasty waves.
He's like the original.
Yeah, but also there was like 270 other guys that were just like him in Malibu.
Yeah.
Sure, Sean Penn had. Now I ripped off Sean Penn for Kenny for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead with a little bit of Bill and Ted in there.
No way, that's crazy because I was watching this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Michelangelo's character said that he got his Michelangelo from Sean Penn, and you got Sean Penn, you know. Hey man, do you remember or were you friends with C. Thomas Howell? I had him on the show. Oh, you did?
Tommy, as he goes to call me Tommy.
Yep.
We're like, I'm not comfortable with that, Mr. C.
You're right. Yeah. He told me the same thing too. He actually came over and we did a song together, man. It was pretty wild. Did you met him on the
I didn't know he'd left LA.
Yeah, man.
He goes, no, he moved years ago and he didn't tell his agent or his friends. He goes, they didn't notice.
No, that's cool.
Where
yeah, I had him on
physically. Where you're on East Coast?
Yeah, I'm in Georgia, man.
Oh, that's great.
In the South, man.
Thanks for taking all of our work. Appreciate it. 30% tax break.
I know.
Nice. In LA, it's a lottery. It's a 1 in 25 chance to get a 20% tax break.
Okay. Why don't you everybody's moving to Nashville. You ever thought about that? You know,
I've heard Nashville's blowing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Austin, what was it? Joe Rogan and everybody's going to the comedy mothership. I don't know if you follow Joe Rogan. He's got all the comedians are all going to one place, you know?
That's great. I'm just probably going to say screw it and retire in Florida. I don't know.
Oh, you're in Florida.
Yeah, well, I'm in LA, but I'm just, one day.
Everybody gets old, but go to Florida.
I think with Screen Actors Guild, I can retire at 65, and I'm having trouble remembering lines now anyway. No, I'm having trouble learning them. Remembering them, we're fine because I don't pay attention to the script. I make them up as I go along. Anyway.
Really? Yeah. So
I do a lot of improv, and it annoys some directors, and some directors love it, and the editor fixes it either way.
Have you always done that improv? Like, we
were encouraged by Chris Columbus, and then I was encouraged by Bob Giraldi on Hiding Out, and I was encouraged by Joel Schumacher on Cousins, and so on and so forth. And when you're in tune with the character, dude, I got Hiding Out had a big read in New York, and there's producer, director, and casting and stuff. And I held up the script and I go, teenagers don't talk like this. And they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
hi, this is Marty. He's the writer producer." And I'm like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." I look on the scripts. It's like Marty. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we sat down with him and I go, "I wouldn't say that. Maybe we'd say it this way." So it's fun to have an influence. And sometimes they're like word for word, say it or you're fired.
That's
And our
so
job
much
is
pressure,
to make
right?
you not be able to tell, because an improv isn't about me as an actor. It is about the story. It's about the story, the audience, entertaining them, making them laugh, whatever. I take my comedy very seriously. So I love to do serial comic work, but it's usually pretty big.
Right. Yeah, I've seen so when you do improv, so you memorize the script, right? You have it all memorized, and then you just show up and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna let go
No,
and just find out
no,
what.
I'm
Yeah,
terrible
okay.
at improv. What I do is the night before, while I'm learning the lines, I get inspired. I go, "Oh, here's a new first line. Here's one I could say before he comes in. Here's a great response. Oh, I'll add this. And
Yeah.
maybe a button at the scene. I'll go, "Oh, would it be great if you just dropped this?" And then you try it in rehearsal and snap everyone, the director, the script supervisor, continuity, the other actors, they're all of a sudden listening. They were expecting other words to come out. And so what I do is I'll write 3 of each.
Right.
3 openers, 3 middles, 3 closers, alternates. And I'll pack them in my bag. And when I go to work, I'm ready. I'm on text. It's the script. But you're in the middle of a take and the director's like, try something different. And you go, okay. You whip out one of those prepared ones, and chances are one of them's really going to sync up and work. And so I fake being a good improver, and then I just really prepare before.
Does anybody ever throw you off? Like when they improv
Hell
off
yeah.
what you're
Oh my
saying?
God.
Yeah.
There's actors that Sam Rockwell threw me against a locker in an after school special. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I've been definitely surprised by actors that, pull their pants down, or this is before Me Too and everything, when it was allowed.
So they pull their pants down where the camera can't see, so you just
Yeah, and you're
have to
sitting
keep
there, have to
going.
look them in the eye doing the scene, and you're like, dude, shave that or trim it or something, man.
Yeah, get the weed whacker. That's funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about writing a book or anything? That's in my notes. That would be so cool, Keith
Oh,
Coogan
thanks.
book.
I don't know if my life wholly is that interesting, but an idea. I get asked a lot because of me being a child actor, my grandfather being a child, the Coogan Act, labor law.
Yeah.
A lot of parents ask me, they go, "How do I get my kid into show business?" And I go, "There's the book. It's How to Get Your Kid into Show Business." And it's a sneak double biography. So I'll say, first big break for my grandfather, first big break for me. My first, whatever, like growing up, aging out of it. What do you do after the fame dies? How do you stay connected to people? And I'll have a grandfather story and a my story, and his big hits and stuff, and my moderately successful late 80s to early 90s films. All right, I'm a realist, and my
Hey,
family
being
was
honest.
too. My grandfather.
Today I was watching Cousins and yeah,
Yeah,
what a great movie, right?
I've
What a
watched it.
great cast too, Ted
That's
Danson.
it.
Yeah, that's
That's it. And there was so much love on the set. And through Joel Schumacher, who's the master of all genres, from Dying Young to Flatliners to,
oh yeah,
Incredible
Flatliner's
Shrinking
so good.
Woman to Cousins. I mean, he's Batman and which one? Batman and Robin, or Batman Forever, or Batman? We're going to stop making Batmans for a while. Which movie did he do?
I can't remember,
Batman, we're going to
but
stop making Batmans for a while.
yeah, that sounds good.
Which, if you watch it, his Batman was way ahead of its time, and
Yeah,
all current superhero action movies are exactly like Joel Schumacher's Batman. I'm gonna fight. Those are fighting words right there.
yeah. Wasn't Sean Young supposed to be in the first Batman? Like
She was, and she was gonna be Vicky Vale, but she got thrown off a
a
horse
horse.
during
Yeah,
rehearsals because there was a horse scene where they like ride along or whatever, and
she was
she
a
broke her
total
arm, and
babe back
production
then too.
wouldn't wait, and they
Yeah,
recast her.
yeah. I know, man. That's sad. Were you friends with her? I mean, did you?
Oh, I worked with her on not only Cousins. 10 years later, I did a movie called Forever, A Ghost of a Love Story. And she played the ghost of Mary Miles Minter, and I had sex scenes with my own stepmom from Cousins.
With
The
Elizabeth?
Cousins
No
love.
way.
And thanks
Yeah,
for
dude.
Came out Valentine's Day, 89. Basically, a February studio dump, but the excuse is it's a love story. So Valentine, we know what you're up to, Paramount Pictures. It made its money back, but it didn't run away at the box office. And it is unabashedly romantic. It's very funny. And we shot it in a very loose French style of just rolling the cameras and getting everyone together and kind of living it. It was really cool.
Do you get intimidated being on set with all these big actors? You know, I mean, you're younger and everybody. I mean, is it intimidating?
It can be. I was on The Last Tycoon, and I'm in a room with Matt Bomer and Kelsey Grammer and oh God, he ran Warehouse 13. He was playing Louis V. Mayer. I can't remember his name. The room was just stacked with like A and B listers and TV faces, and I'm like, totally nervous. I don't know what to say.
Are you? Yeah.
I don't know what to talk. I felt like a child in front of them, and I have decades of TV and film, and I'm like, my grandfather worked with you, the Louis V. Mayer character. I'm like, he really like worked there at MJ, and no one's listening to it. It's rolling thunder. Amazon Picture Studios spent $100 million on this series. Nobody knew who the fuck I was on set, but the director had worked with my grandfather on a John Wayne picture. The director's father had worked with my grandfather on a John Wayne picture.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Then they cut my speech, but I got paid anyway, so screw it. Thank you, Amazon. Very healthy residuals. We love it.
You guys posted your wedding video on YouTube, like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
wedding
I kept thinking, don't drop the ring in the sand.
We got the day we met video.
How'd you guys meet? What was the day you met?
It was my first autograph convention.
February 1st one?
Yeah, 2013. Okay. Yes. And at my very first one, I was talked into doing autograph conventions by Scotty Schwartz.
Oh, wow.
Christmas Story.
Flick, yeah.
He's from The Toy and Kid Co. And
The Toy was such a good movie too.
Right?
Yeah. I grew up on that.
And I know, I did too. I auditioned for it. But yeah, I would have been scared to death cool. Because Scotty said that Richard Pryor and Gleason would go off. They would never do the same, take the same. So you had to improvise. And I'm scared to death. I didn't know who I was as a kid. So how can I know who my character is enough to improvise as a kid? I like script and structure and where's my close-up. Like I understood the rhythm of cutting and film and TV coverage and everything. And perhaps that's why it took me so long to get Adventures feature Adventures in Babysitting.
Richard Pryor's got to be super intimidating as a kid, being in front of Jack Gleason, all those guys.
He probably turns into a kid and plays with you.
Probably. But anyway, so how'd you guys meet? You said the first day you met or something?
Convention, and
yeah.
Pinky was there for somebody else. She didn't know who the heck I was, and her friends were excited I was there because they had posters with signatures from the other cast members, And he's like, I got to finish my Adventures of Babysitting, thing or whatever. And I think I sold 5 pieces to him, but I only charged him for 4. She's like, oh, he's nice. They're like, it's Keith Coogan emergency. I don't know who he is. There'll never be a Keith Coogan emergency. So she goes, fine, I'll get him. She comes up to the table and she just likes to get selfies. She doesn't care about autographs or anything. And she goes, how much for an autograph? And I said, well, and Scott Schwartz had taught me you sell, she goes, how much for a selfie? And he taught me you don't charge for selfies. They're free with an autograph purchase. So you pick a picture and it's $20 and then I'll take the selfie for free. And Pinky had been taking free selfies or $10 selfies for stars. She's like, $20 selfie. I don't know if like $20 like him. So she gets it anyway. Where'd you find it? In the car? Oh, there. Okay. She picks cleaned up Kenneth from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Hadn't seen
him. Wow. Yeah.
I signed dishes are done, man. She had no idea what I was talking about. So I come up from around the table to take the photo and we get face to face and it's like, there you are. We're pissed. We're like, you know how long I've looked for you? Like it instantly, you understood every poem, every song. And we found each other and we did another show, 2 months later? Yeah. Hollywood show. Yeah. And she was my booth babe. She calls it a booth bitch. She goes, you literally talk to people, sign autographs, and let them walk away. You don't even ask for the money. And I'm like, I don't. So she started handling, helping me at the table. And then we were married October of that year. Wow. It's funny. At the end of taking the selfie, we kind of hitting it off and a little close. And she's like, I'm like, are we going to kiss? And she goes, what are you going to charge me? And we're wrapping up and I'm playing on my phone and, she thinks I probably don't want to give up my phone number or anything. But she goes, hey, why don't you take my number? Very bold of you. And, whatever. And I said, I can't believe you married me. I said the following words. Well, why don't we see how it goes on Twitter? Oh,
wow.
So then I flirted with her on Twitter, and
She's
I made
playing hard to get, man.
It's all good now.
Yeah.
And there's way more to the story. We've attempted parts of it so far, but it's a great love story.
Meet Cute's better on YouTube.
Yeah, we have the Meet Cute on YouTube, and
yeah, man. How many times you meet somebody in life like that where you just instantly connect?
Once.
Yeah. And you didn't even charge her for the connection,
He charged me.
Oh, she's still paying.
$20.
Here's what not to buy from Five.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I was watching you guys post that video of you guys getting married and doing the rings. I don't know. I just went to like, don't drop the rings in the sand. You'll lose them. But that was a beautiful wedding, man. That was really cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I think he really wanted to get married on the beach. And
is your wife in
parks and insurances and getting permits and like
so
dogs
much
aren't
easier.
technically allowed. So
yeah.
It was tough. But we pulled it off. And it just for 250 of our closest friends. My God, it was a crazy wedding.
Is your wife an 80s fan of like movies and stuff?
Are you kidding me? She has tattoos of Depeche Mode,
nice.
Duran, and she has The Cure, and she also has Nick Rhodes' autograph tattooed on her.
The Cure pictures of you was playing on the video. I just watched. I'm not like it was on YouTube. I saw, but I just remember hearing pictures of you on there. I thought that was cool. Great song.
Yeah, she's a fan of Breakfast Club, 16 Candles. She's very dear to 16 Candles. We'll watch anything.
That's
John
the best.
Hughes.
Yeah, I love John Hughes.
Yeah.
What about Weird Science?
Sure, I know it's one of Hughes's is weaker thematically and more crass pictures, but you like Weird Science, right? You love Weird Science. She loves Weird Science. I do too. I've saw it in theaters, of course.
Did you meet him back in the day, John Hughes? I mean, do you ever,
I read for Farmer Ted for 16 Candles. And it was the scene on the bus at the beginning. But I'd heard later, I've been watching podcasts, whatever. Boy, I blew all of the way you connect reading and seeing and hearing with Anthony and Mike. And he said he was cast, but they're waiting on schedule or something. So they were still seeing kids basically in LA. But he is the geek. He is Farmer Ted. I think I also read the convincing her to give him the panty scene, like in the car, in the auto shop. So yeah, I'd read for Hughes and wanted to be in a John Hughes picture so bad, but I got Adventures in Babysitting, which if you think about it, just a few years after that, Chris Columbus does Home Alone, John Hughes picture, hugely successful.
Yeah.
But prior to that, he'd written for Spielberg and Goonies, Gremlins, Young Sherlock Holmes. So here's a Spielberg protege on the cusp of becoming a John Hughes-esque. And that's a perfect way to describe Chris Columbus. Half John Hughes, half Spielberg.
Yeah, you're there at the beginning too, which is really cool. When you go in for these reads and auditions, I mean, is that nerve-wracking? I mean, do you feel confident, or is that? I feel like I would be terrified going in those things.
You can be. You gotta drop it. Just get prepared. Get focused. Think of your scene. Don't talk too much. Don't give the game away. I like to go partly in character. You don't want a big break from like, "Hi, I'm Keith," to give me the money. So you want to kind of come in and like, hi, I'm Keith. How you doing? Give me the money. So it's not quite as, that's an exaggeration. But I remember auditioning for The Bridge and with Josh Charles.
Yeah.
And I took an empty beer bottle and put it in the inside of my jean jacket, like in the inside little thing, and thought I was tough to the audition. And it was the same casting director as Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's did.
Nice.
I did not book the part.
What was the reading like for Adventures in Babysitting? I mean,
it was call with the reading with the director or the casting director. Then you get a call back and you read for director and producers. Then a round of screen tests that were mix and match. So they would combo, get a different Sarah. Okay, let's swap Brad and Daryl. No, okay, swap them back. Can you believe that I read for Daryl and Anthony Rapp read for Brad?
yeah.
And I saw Phoebe Cates and Valerie Bertinelli read for Chris Parker.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue, man, that's got to be intimidating. She was so hot back in the day. That's right before Cocktails, right?
Did you just say back in the day? She's hot now.
She's on. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
I mean, your wife's right there, so you can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Fine.
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. I got this hanging on my wall. I actually forgot I had it, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
That was the movie where I discovered you.
Huh.
And I thought that was your real hair, the long hair. I thought you were so cool. I was 11 years old, and into Metallica and all your friends. I thought that was awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
Did you listen to Metallica at all? Did you listen to the music that Kenny would listen to?
No, I didn't start to until probably around the making of the movie. That's when did the Black Album come out?
That was like 91 ish.
Yeah, so the movie had come out already, and my friend brought over the Black Album, and he goes, "You got to hear this one track," and he played "Nothing Else Matters," and I go, "That's like musical. That's like classical. That's like very like I hear chord structures and like great lyrics and Hetfield's voice and everything." And that was my gateway drug to metal. And then I became a Guns N' Roses fan. Then I became a Nirvana fan. And then, so I don't know, Metallica, Megadeth, Scorpion, MTV was always on him, after I moved out.
What was your first concert when you were younger?
Kiss,
what was
not
Kiss?
To hack my Facebook or anything, but it was a Kiss concert in LA. I was 8. And me and my best friend, he had all the Kiss dolls, like 9-inch figures. And our parents gave us tissue to protect our ears. It was so freaking loud in there. But yeah, I've seen Michael Jackson in concert, Madonna, fun, great concerts in the 80s. And I've seen Guns N' Roses twice, Rolling Stones, and Skid Row in concert.
So that's cool. So Kenny would listen to these kind of bands, like getting ready for the character or whatever. I mean, that's not too far fetched.
Oh no, absolutely. Now on set, Christina Applegate turned me on to Faith No More.
It's one of my favorite bands. I
loved it. I was like,
yeah,
that was a good.
She got you into Christina. Faith No More. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's really neat. Zach. I'd say Zach Christopher, who played Zach. Did you ever? You worked with him on the movie, but did you ever talk to him off camera or whatever? He died early,
He did. And, it was terrible because there was no indication on set. I think there's an IMDb trivia thingy that, look, I was at set every day and I never saw a scene cut or anything rescheduled for Chris. So he would go surfing every morning.
He would.
Yeah, he'd go surf 6 o'clock in the morning and, make it to set. We often also would shoot nights. So we're getting to set at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon for a night shoot and then go home when the sun comes up in the morning, and then he'd go surfing. So I think that trouble comes later, for most child actors. There's all this fame and attention and a power dynamic in the family, especially if you're a minor and all of a sudden you're the breadwinner in the family and you're still developing. other kids are worrying about a pop quiz, and if that girl's gonna, say yes to the prom, and you're worried about paying the mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the question, but boy, you just gave me
No,
flashbacks.
yeah, I was just talking about working with Christopher. I know he's in Point
So
Break too.
I didn't see anything, and Christina was really close to all the kids. She spent a lot of time with them in their school. It was summer when we were shooting, so they didn't really have school per se, but they still had an hour of recreation where they had to play, ride bikes, trampolines, skateboards, whatever, play with frisbees. I went over and I think I played video games with them one afternoon because I was Kenny. I was a neglectful brother, so I didn't really spend time with the kids. I was in character.
Oh, you were in character. Okay, yeah.
But I loved it. I loved working on Don't Tell Mom because Kenny was very far from the nerd Dexter geek that I was. I was very straight laced. So I was afraid there would be an affectation that would turn into a caricature instead of a character. But Steve Herek kind of kept me, on the guardrails, and I really owe it to him. He'd give me direction. I didn't even understand it. I just follow it, and we get to laugh. So thank you, Steven.
Yeah,
he directed Three Musketeers and
afterwards,
Ted's Excellent Adventure, for Christ's sake.
What a great movie too, man.
Right?
Did Kenny's room kill the babysitter? That's
Yes.
Yeah, because she sees it and like freaks out.
Kenny's room absolutely killed the babysitter.
I absolutely loved your bedroom when I was a kid, man. I keep going back to when I was a kid, but I was like,
there's one thing, and I know they went and corrected Adventures of Babysitting on Disney Plus and scrubbed up all the language and stuff. But Don't Tell Mom, there's one thing I would love them to digitally alter. Why the hell does Kenny have a rebel flag up in his room?
Oh, yeah.
That's not cool. He's got camo and all these posters and, pinups and stuff. And
rebel flag.
Kenny have a rebel flag? And how come Kenny doesn't have any black friends? These are I have questions, man.
Okay, well,
maybe because he lives in the suburbs where none of his neighbors are black. Oh, wait, we fixed that in the remake. Yes, go watch Don't Tell Mom Babysitter Dead on BET Plus. You can get a 7-day free trial. It is shot at the original house. It has 3 original cast members from Don't Tell Mom Babysitter Dead in the remake. It's fantastic. They actually made a better movie. Have you seen the remake of Don't Tell Mom Babysitter's Dead?
No, but I saw the trailer for it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you think it's better? That's cool. Well, here's the question though: did drag queen steal the car in the new remake, or I always thought that was so random.
No, there's a little bit of an accident involving the car.
Yeah,
they were gonna stick the babysitter's dead body in the front seat and fill her with like a gallon of liquor and push her car down to hit crash into a tree and make it look like she drove off the road. Terrible accident. And she was drinking while driving. The car swerves to the last minute, goes right into the lake and sinks with her body in it. And the money and all that stuff. So and then this is now incredibly criminal, way more criminal, I think, than the original. And it's great. They even do a drive-by on referencing the original Don't Tell Mom. They're like, what do we do with the body? And he's like, why don't we put a note on her and drop her off at a mortuary? And she goes, what, there's cameras everywhere? What do you think this is, 1991?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And at one point, the kids are in the room watching TV, and they're watching Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And it's Joanna Cassidy on the podium in her yellow outfit and her red hair. And when Simone Joy-Jones walked into the room, they pause it. And for the rest of the scene, you just see this still frame of Joanna Cassidy in the back from the original movie. So the kids in the remake know that the original movie happened.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna definitely watch it now. It's funny how the movie flows though. Being an adult watching it now is like the baby, the mom just like, here you go, this lady I just met. Here's some money. Go watch my kids. The daughter wanted to play Little League. Oh, it's next year or whatever. I need a break.
She does. She didn't check her reference. Maybe I don't know where she found the baby.
Just hand her some money.
She's hopping in that airport van and she's out.
She's gone.
She'll call every 3-4 days at first.
Yeah.
And she's getting it good from the sheep herder. No, man.
They keep it
Oh,
so fast
Mom.
paced too. Yeah.
Huh?
That nobody asked about the babysitter. She's dead now, and it's it's Swell or whatever just gets a job. Nobody asks for ID. It just the whole thing. I never thought about that as a kid.
No. Even in hiding out when he registers with the school, and he's like, oh, small school in Texas, records could take weeks. And the administrator looks at him and she goes, it always takes weeks. Like, don't worry about it. And yeah, they just kind of let that slide. And in Don't Tell Mom, the remake, they cover it because Melissa is into freaking murder podcasts, and she knows how to hack, how to hide bodies, she's really instrumental in covering up their tracks with the babysitter and getting Swell a new identity, a Facebook profile, a whole past that doesn't exist, so that she can get this corporate job. It's great. It actually works.
You were on the set of that too, right? I remember seeing a video of you like visiting or doing some kind of interview or something like that. Did they ask you? I mean, that's cool. They reached out.
Well, I was shooting my Cameo, and it was day 2 of filming, and I finish, and I turn to the producer and I go, hey, who's shooting the behind the scenes, the EPK or whatever? And he, deer in the headlights, he's like, I was worried about like diesel and the catering and where the bathrooms are, like just helping the crew. He didn't even, so I said, let me shoot it. I'll shoot it for $1. And so I shot the behind the scenes of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It's on our YouTube channel, Keith and Pinky's Hollywood Tales, and just type in "making of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead" and you'll see it. It's 7 minutes long, and it really does, I think, take you into where we were at when we were shooting. I spent 5 days on set, apart from the day I filmed, which is a long time. Usually, you'll see EPK will be there for a day. On the biggest cast day, they'll show up, shoot interviews, and bail, or a set piece. So I'm proud. Pinky produced it. I directed it, shot it, cut it, and my little brother did the drone photography.
Your mom back in the day used to manage you. Do you still have a pretty close relationship with her? I mean, is that you didn't turn out on the news like other like childhood actors? You didn't go like on drugs or on kind of binges that I remember. I don't remember seeing you like.
I did turn up
news.
on the news briefly when I ran away from home. And my mom couldn't find me for a week, and so finally she gave up and she called the news. And I was chilling in Palm Springs with like my uncle, my grandmother, and I was safe. I was fine. But they turned to me and go, dude, you're on the news. And so I had to bust it, contact my mom, just so I wasn't on the 11 o'clock. And came home, and I get off. I actually get back to LA. I was in Palm Springs. I was 16. I get back to LA, and my mom takes me straight to the barber, and I get a haircut. I don't even go home. And she takes me straight to the Adventures in Babysitting callback.
Wow.
And Chris Columbus pulled me aside, and he's like, we had word that you were like gone or what? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, well, my mom kind of coached me on this. Not coached me, but she helped me figure out why I was afraid of success. And I looked at Chris Columbus in my eyes, and Chris, I auditioned for E.T., Goonies, Gremlins. I auditioned for Stand By Me, and
that's amazing.
Christmas Story, and Lucas, and Dream a Little Dream, and maybe those are later. But I said I was really worried I'd get this one. I think I'm Brad. I think I'm in. And he goes, I think you are too. I'm going to fight for you with the studio. I think, and he did. He goes, Keith's my Brad, and I really thank Chris, because I loved working with them, and it's good work. Brad's got a good heart.
Yeah, man. Is that your favorite movie you've done? Like, what's the?
No. What an experience! It was a big, budget, all the trucks. I call it
filming locations. I mean, yeah, you guys were all over the place.
We were in Toronto, Chicago, LA. Took 3 months to shoot it. We had 2 weeks of rehearsal, which is rare, really rare. I think that's why it's good. It flows. We hammered out anything that didn't make sense. We got to do the scenes over and over and over again, like a stage play. And we had cast that was local. Anyone cast that was local in Toronto, they were there for rehearsals. They got to help rewrite dialogue. We came up with lines like, "Could you drop us off at a mall?" And then Calvin Levels goes, "Where do you think we at? Boise, Idaho?" Calvin is so smart. He played Bosquet in film once. Calvin is so smart and so educated. On an improv line, he comes back with a response. And I researched it later, and it turns out the first mall in the United States was in Boise, Idaho. How the hell did he know that? In a split second. So we loved him. It was hard to be scared of your car thief with a heart of gold when it's Calvin. I just like to be in the audience.
Have you? I'm just gonna throw this random question for you. I just thought of this, but Sean Astin was in a highly underrated movie, Whitewater Summer. Do you remember that movie? Did you?
I auditioned for it.
You did, okay.
And then my actor's nightmare is I'm late for lunch and I'm trying to get back to set, and they're shooting like River Wild or Whitewater Summer.
Okay. Yeah.
But that puts me a degree away from Bacon. But I was already a degree away from Bacon with Elizabeth Shue and Hollow Man and others. Yeah. I'm definitely, I got to work with Kevin Bacon though. That would really, I mean, can you get that close to the source though?
I was watching Toy Soldiers with my wife, and she mentioned like how many scenes that all you guys are just hanging around in your underwear in your dorms, just these tidy whities. And she looked at me and she goes, like, the dudes just do that? They just hang out in their like little underwear and just, chill. I was like, I guess so. Yeah. Back in the day we did.
What had happened was, it's in the script, and the convention was that they've cut the power to the school. There's no AC. It's hot. And there's 6 of us or 7, I think, with Yogurt.
Yeah, one bed or 2 beds.
There's 7 of us in a room that should fit 2. And so it's hot all the time. And so we also, for the beefcake, you got to see T.E. Russell's chest and George Perez's pecs and freaking,
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I'm snuffy over here in tidy whities.
Oh yeah. What a great movie.
So it was hot, and we didn't think about it. And the movie came out, and it wound up on, websites. Let's just say
it did.
Yeah, and it was a moment of like,
what kind of websites? That's so funny.
I knew I was gay when, and they're like Toy Soldiers. It's great. And I'm not packing anything that's me. I'm, Catholic, so what time it is. And I wasn't particularly excited when I was wrestling Will Wheaton. Just the physical activity of wrestling Will Wheaton, maybe. I don't know what happened.
Have you and your wife ever done anything together, like on screen or anything like that, or any kind of movies or any projects?
It was for the New York Television Festival. We did a pilot for Pinky and the Fangirls, which explored. Pinky is a celebrity enthusiast, and she takes selfies with celebs. Like I said, she doesn't really like autographs. She likes the selfies. Can I get a selfie? Sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thousands. You don't understand. 5,000 to 6,000 photos. Everybody, Brad, Matt, Jen, name it, Tom, name the star. She's got it. She's also got a bucket list of like the 20 stars she hasn't gotten yet. So we focus on those, and we go to Emmy events. We go to screenings, Q&As. We'll go to fundraisers, premieres. Those are rough, though. Hard to get near everybody.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I'm a member of Screen Actors Guild and the Television Academy. And so it's not without the realm of possibility that we do come face to face. And sometimes the stars come out, and they come out in the lobby, and they meet and greet and shake hands and take selfies. And so that's really fun too. So that show is kind of about that. And then we also, we have other plans. So, and then our YouTube channel. So YouTube, we do two question interviews with celebs that we see around, or at autograph conventions, friends maybe. And we ask them just 2 questions. And they have no idea what the questions are going to be. It's the same 2 questions for every celebrity.
So really? So same 2 questions. Okay.
Yeah. So check out our 2 questions. I asked you. It was the same questions Pinky asked me when we met that we have on film.
Okay. Can you say the 2 questions, or you just we gotta wait and look up the show? That's good.
The questions are: do you remember the first time you were recognized? And the second question is, what's the weirdest or strangest fan encounter you've ever had? And they're great. We get so many. Jamie Kennedy, I asked him, what's the weirdest fan encounter you had? And he goes, dude, bro, you can't talk about that.
Hey, so what's yours? What's the strangest one for you?
Oh, I gave some bullshit answers. I gave terrible answers because I was on the spot. I don't know. And my family had taught me you're living privately in public. And remember that anyone can film you, tape you, whatever, and broadcast that. So I was, I've changed my ways. I'm with this big fat mess spilling out of a garbage can, and maybe I'll get on TMZ. And that's my biggest fear. I'm like a D-list celebrity. Well, I'm on the list. Oh my God, that's cool. That if I got arrested for some stupid high-speed pursuit or some bullshit, I would have to go do the mugshot, go do the time and the judge, and I would not get on TMZ. That's my biggest fear. Most actors are worried about getting on TMZ. I'm like, I get busted and I don't get on TMZ. Jesus.
Hey, going back real quick to your doing the selfie show, I remember I used to go to a lot of concerts, and I had the camera, like the 1 hour photo, like before you had a cell phone, and I had a ton of selfies, and I had a book, and I lost the book.
Oh.
Yeah, such a bummer.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, so I guess when you take all these selfies, you have them on your phone. I guess you save them in the cloud. You save them different places. So it's not you don't lose them. That replaces the autograph, though. I mean,
about the archiving of the photos, but yes.
There's so many photos you're saying, though. That's a lot. What's the strangest thing somebody signed for you? I'm just still in your two questions. Or
strangest thing someone signed for me, or strangest thing I signed for somebody else?
That you signed for somebody else.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like
my first autograph convention, I'm sitting there, and a buddy of mine from a day job we had, he'd get into the convention. There's lots of great celebrities there. But he comes up to the table and he's hiding something. He comes up like sneaking, and he's a little blue side salad plate, and he goes, "Do you think you could sign Dishes Are Done, man?" And then I'm like, "Of course, that's great idea." He goes, "You should put these on your table." And I've sold autographed Kenny, Don't Tell Mom, Dishes Are Done, man, dishes at every single show. It's great,
dude. I'm gonna bring one, man, next time if you come to Atlanta.
Oh, we have
that's a great idea.
I'll sign them, personalize them.
Yeah. Are you guys coming to Atlanta? I don't know if I've asked you that yet, but that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
No, Atlanta. We're going to Jersey in August, 9th, 10th, 11th, and then we are we got some Florida shows, maybe Arizona, but we totally would need to get into Atlanta. Absolutely. If you know a con promoter, yo.
Right on. Yeah. All right, Keith, man. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Usually I interview musicians, so this is special that you're the second actor.
I'd seen that.
Thomas Howell.
I had seen that. And my only note is we use a lot of the same language. So there is a lyric, there is a pace, there's like a beat, a rhythm, a meter, if you will. Yeah. There's one particular one in a script, you'll see beat in parentheses. And that just means you take a rest, you take a moment, and then move on. And I mean, in music, that's called a rest. And sometimes a rest itself is a note. And oftentimes that's what modern movies and TV and music forget when they produce. That sometimes you need a little quiet, absorb what happened, some silence, in the break.
Let it breathe.
Yeah. But I like the commonality. There's a story, there's a verse, a chorus, a car chase, the bridge, and then a refrain, and back to the verse, chorus. You know what I mean? There's like a similarity in the art forms, I think.
Wow, man, good point, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I never thought about it. That's
a counterpoint, a bass, subtext. Yeah. So I think they're very similar. I studied music. Like my mom made me take classical piano at 8, and then I found guitar around the time I did Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Okay, so you play guitar now, or you play it from the movie?
Yeah. You
ever record anything?
For fun. I have a few tracks on iTunes. Good luck finding them. I used a little bit of GarageBand and my keyboard, literally. But just a proof of concept, because I found this place is like, we'll take care of everything, and I'm new. I'm not going to see money through this licensing place, and And sure enough, I put it up, and it was like a couple days later, the 2 or 3 things I put on there. One like a voiceover, one video game music, and the other, I don't know, some other things. And they went up, and there's the cover art, there's the liner notes, there's the format, the running time, and I was very impressed at how it passed through the company to get it onto iTunes and other like platforms.
That's good. Do you and your
And
wife go to
hopefully you'll
concerts?
also see like Cheetah and Downhill Willie and Hiding Out and stuff like that.
Do you and your wife go to concerts together ever?
Cure.
Yeah,
We
see,
went to
you
Duran
guys love the Cure.
Duran. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great, man. All right, man. Well, I appreciate being on the show, Keith Coogan, man. This is awesome,
I
man.
appreciate the time, man. Thanks. Great questions. For someone
Oh,
who talks
man,
to music
thank you.
people, you're better than most of the people that talk to movies.
No way. Yeah, I was intimidated,
totally.
man.
What'd you say?
Joshua Radin, we saw.
Oh, Joshua Radin was great. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check him out. I haven't heard of him. That's cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was our wedding song.
Really?
Yeah.
What song is it?
My Love.
My Love.
My Love. I'm making note of that. Yeah. And check that
My
out.
Love, Joshua Radin. And we went and saw him at Largo in LA. And I waited after, and they wouldn't let me backstage. They wouldn't let me back. And I was like, oh man, I was like, just kept trying. And I hung out, and he finally came out.
No, they let us backstage.
Oh yeah, they took us backstage, and he's like, come on, yeah,
You
here.
threatened them. You're like,
I don't know.
Pop some like name or like they
It
let me
was
backstage,
so
but you won't.
terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was obnoxious because my wife wanted to meet Josh Radin, and I was gonna fucking make it happen, even if I burned every name I could throw out. And we did.
That's
he was
great.
the sweetest guy. And we said we hadn't got married yet.
Yeah, we told him we were gonna use
And we
it.
said we're gonna use My Love as our wedding song. And he goes, when's the wedding date? I'm like, October 26th. Oh, I wish I could come and play it for you, but I have this other gig. And we're like, did he just say he would come and play at our wedding? So
Yeah. Wait, what?
He's really great, and his music is just pure. It's really, really beautiful. You'll appreciate the songwriting and stuff.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's great, man. Well, man, it's been great, man. Keep in touch, and thank you again for letting me ask you these questions.
Totally,
My
man.
small little
Appreciate
music podcast. I
it.
appreciate
And thanks
it.
everyone who watched. Appreciate it. And go to KeithCooganOnline.com. That website again, KeithCooganOnline.com.